We are back live. Hi. Let me get the chat set up here, and I'll talk about what we're gonna do today. One second. This is gonna be a heck of a work day. So we're basically gonna try to get everything done for release, except pressing the launch button. Pretty much that. So what do we have to do to get there? Well, unfortunately, the jobs that we had last night died because power outage, which is always fun. We did get some data, though, before they died. In particular, the latest stuff on Neural MMO looks very, very good. See all these different sweeps that I did. And this one on Neural MMO. Now, you never really want to bet too much on these upticks at the end because there's like sampling bias. But even if we look sort of here at this sort of portion of the curve, I think it's very likely we get something above 7 in a reasonable amount of time. And I don't know, we might end up actually seeing something way, way better if we run this for even longer. So I've started up this new one here. It's tiny. Also a fair bit of variance from run to run, so it's always not, like, it's not always super easy to say. This is literally the same run that I've started, and it's caught on a little quicker. But regardless, we'll see what this does. There's also, I've seen some instability where some of these runs kind of crash after a bit. So, like, the reward crashes, but we'll see. You know, we'll monitor this throughout the day, and we'll hope that there are no more power interruptions. I can guarantee there will be no more power interruptions in a few days because we're going to have the UPS installed. There's a backup generator. It's just that right now it doesn't switch over fast enough, so that'll all be taken care of. Cool. Let's actually just get the master list real quick of, like, things we need to do. Finally launch this. Done with this launch. Way, way, way too long. Want to move on and work on other things around RL with Puffer. Don't have a to-do in here anyways. So, baselines for all environments. Run port all baselines to website. I am fine here. Oh. I am fine here, either downscale or simplify annoying policies. Because I don't want to spend all day just writing C networks. Use keeps where available. I think the other main things we got to double check. Whoops. Double check examples. Maybe run some of Tests, least API checks. The new M's don't have articles, individual articles yet, but that will be resolved. Other things I promised for release, let me see. I mean, there's always going to be like testing plus PyPy. Gonna be a pain. Is there anything else? Obviously, testing package install. More than anything else, I just want this to not be broken on release, right? I don't want to not have a whole bunch of support issues where we have like basic installation stuff or whatever. I think that's kind of it. What's going on with this thing? Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, that does then. That already 1.5 bill? Yeah, that's crazy. Literally while I've been talking, I launched this right before I started stream. This is already done. 1.5 billion steps in Neural MMO. For context, that's about 30 years worth of games. A billion seconds is 30 some odd years. And the game rate is 1 step per 0.6 seconds. So. I'm pretty sure I've already done this for Pong and Breakout as well. Here, we'll do this. We'll here. Excuse me. These are our new docs. Discord banner breaking is very silly. We have, I believe this is new Pong out. There is frame skip here, but we're smoothing frames. I believe we did the new Enduro policy as well. That was me playing. Okay. I don't know what we do about Snake. So we can get, I'm sure we can get reasonable policies for most of these things. Why don't we just try real quick? Oops. Okay, so this is the non-recurrent one. We can just immediately see the difference, right? With the recurrent policy. Well, hang on. There is a one hot requirement, right? Try this. Not be multiplied. Hmm. Ah. Okay, I will be right back. So that runs. Cool. I'll be right back. Oh, that's funny. You don't need comms. Isn't that funny? Look at that. So you need the one hot encoder, but you actually don't need comms. It's like barely makes a difference. That's so funny. Mm, 3 million steps a second, 3.5. That's lovely. It does have like a decent chunk more params, but like, do we care? Faster. I think what we're gonna do is do a Billy. Yes, rewards are automatically being clipped to -1 to 1 in the PufferLib file. And the reason for that, we did that after we spent forever trying to figure out why breakout wouldn't work, and it ended up being a wrapper difference. And I decided, screw it, we're going to clip all the rewards, and then you can tune around it. And if your env has bigger reward magnitudes, you should probably fix that. So what I would suggest instead is you change the reward magnitudes of the other ones to probably be smaller. You are going to have to tune because like the defaults kind of assume that you're roughly in the 1-ish reward range. Like I tend to use things between maybe 0.1 at the very lowest and 1 at the highest. Or -1 to 1, but like 0.1 is the smallest distinguisher from 0. Also, yo, Spencer, it turns out you don't need comms for Snake. You just need the one hot encoder. So I think we actually are going to be able to make a lot of the network architectures way faster if we do this. Hell, I have all sorts of things I can do with this now. It's kind of funny. It turns out you don't need comms when you have this much data. Yeah, so you need the one hot encoding. And actually, I'm gonna do this for our default nets for now, even though the conv is like technically kind of smarter. The reason I'm gonna do this for default nets is that they run faster, so I can actually run these on the web way easier. On global. Well, it's not necessarily that comms are bad. It's just at least the way we have them now, they're kind of slow. You know, like comms are not a bad building block. For what, like we should probably do like some perf engineering at some point. I don't know. There's so many things I can potentially work on with this stuff. I need to like just knock down a couple contracts or whatever so we can get back to like really hammering the fundamentals. Today is going to be like long work day for me, and I'm going to attempt to get basically everything, all the remaining crap done for release. So we're basically ready to just do it. Whether I actually launch tomorrow or whether we decide that we want to get like a trailer cut together or stuff, we'll see about that. But yeah. No, it's from. So I've seen people do this. Actually, I have a client that's done this. People will put like negative 0.005 or like 0.001, and like they'll wonder why the thing isn't getting picked up. Like that's basically gonna get ignored unless you have some other hyperparameter that's effectively scaling that thing up massively. Like that ain't gonna do anything. There's no actual clipping happening like that's going to 0.1 or anything. It's just negative 1 to 1 is the only clip. That helps. Let me actually DM,
The following content is
Oh
provided.
yeah, I started doing this solid state chemistry stuff just in the evening or whenever I'm doing things. I'm just like starting to go through different hard science stuff, trying to figure out just like I don't know, enough to find RL apps. Can I DM Tetsuo? Heh. Well, I don't know why I sent him this. Hello, Landor. Welcome. Yeah, this guy will probably just reply today because he's like terminally online. He does cool stuff though. Yeah, Slander, have you seen Neural MMO 3.0? So we've got this thing here. This is the new version of the environment. It's big. It's actually human playable, so if I hit control here, I can like take over and play for this guy. There's armor, equipment, weapons, a market, and this actually is like runs 1,000 times faster than my thesis. So I actually like after my thesis, I went back and I did a crazy version of this. And we actually have this thing training for like huge amounts of time now. We have a run going right now on 6 GPUs. That is, I just started this. This is already 5 billion steps in. I'm trying to do a 1 trillion observation run on this. So you're going to see some very cool things around this quite soon. We're also always looking for contributors if you want to get involved in building stuff like this. It is, well, I won't say it's not hard, but I've made it a heck of a lot easier than it used to be. And we actually have lots of new people now all the time that are getting involved with this type of stuff that do not have prior RL experience. Plan for today is to fix the release boxing. So if you have stuff that you want to get into the release on your environment, get it in now. Right now. How's it possible to get involved? Very simple. All this is on puffer.ai. Start the repo on your way in. Helps me out. And then, I don't know why our banner's broken, but if you just click this, discord.gg/puffer, we've got like 1,000 some odd people in here. This is where we manage all the dev. Pretty much new people. If you're trying to get into RL, I suggest you start just by following our new environment tutorial. It's in the 3.0 docs, which are beta, but they're coming out, and you can get them anyways early. You build like a really simple environment just to understand what is happening, and then you build up to like more complex and interesting stuff. Generally, ways you can get involved. New contributors should build environments to see the end-to-end loop of like, how do I get RL working on a new problem? Then after that, as you get more advanced, you can work on harder environments that actually help us test new areas of the science. You can get involved with optimizing and working on the algorithms and the science side in Puffer, or the infrastructure, which is how we make everything run super fast. I have prior RL experience. Well, then you're actually ahead of a lot of the people in here. So the thing that I think most people that come in from the science side struggle with is the amount of low-level dev we do. But like the low-level stuff, we do it in a way that's very, very simple and very, very powerful. I have a summer to waste? Well, it's, I don't think you'll quite call it wasting, because if you see what we've done in Puffer in just the last year, the field is totally different. I don't know how, like, if you've seen any of the new stuff, but we literally have reinforcement learning working out of the box at millions of steps per second, literally 1,000 times faster than anything else in the field. We have like 20 environments. Many of them are more complex and interesting than all the things being used in academia. We have new algorithms. We have new infrastructure. It's all simpler than what's out there as well. Like, yeah, there's some really cool stuff happening in RL right now. I graduated a year ago, so I'm done with PhD, and now I'm trying to fix the field and do so outside of the confines of academia. It's all open source as well. So if you're interested in RL, this is the place. Doing a master's in AI and looking for something in RL field for next year's thesis. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do now. Do I have the schooling environment? Here. I don't think I have a trained model on this, but I can run this space. Like, I built this thing in 4 days with latest puffer. Are you going to be able to even... Here, let me maybe... I'll train it for you so you can actually see a little bit of what it does. So this is now going to train in 2 minutes at 1.5 million steps per second. This is now, keep in mind, this is a new environment that only took me about 4 days to build with the way that we do stuff in latest PufferLib. If you take like SB3 speeds for a network this size, it would be literally like you'd look at maybe 5,000 steps per second. So this is, what's that, 300x faster training? And way faster than that simulation. And you'll see what this environment is in just a second. We have lots of stuff like this as well. Yeah, I'm basically cleaning up for our next release. Oh yeah, this is not even going to be the best policy because I ran a hyperparam sweep that should get us better stuff, but hopefully this will at least show you something cool. Oh, and I stream all the development of Puffer, so I stream like 40, 60 hours a week. Pretty much all the dev. Usually Monday through Saturday. Okay, that'll be done in a minute. I mean, 174 million steps is like... And normally, if you look most academic RL papers, the x-axis is like 100 million steps or even 10 million steps, and they run it overnight. So, kind of gives you an idea. Heck, I mean, there are Atari 100K. I think the Atari 100K experiments where they will take 2 hours to run 100K frames. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, there are a few reasons I stream, right? One is actually to get people interested in contributing to stuff like this, but also it's so that if people have questions on all these different things, I can help and provide support live for stuff. Yeah. Well, I think the training was a bit unstable because it crashed right at the end. But I don't know, maybe they'll still do something. Can we see these? I mean, we can still see them. They're just not very smart. So yeah, these are all agents individually controlled. Probably see them fight in a second. Yeah, there you go. You can see one of the lasers. Yeah, Like the little laser beams that go off occasionally. Environment just reset. Yeah, we can build stuff like this now and actually RL it. It's pretty cool. It'll be way more interesting when I have a policy for it, but that's just a quick preview. I mean, like, a sim like that would kind of be... That's like the complexity of my PhD thesis, pretty much, in terms of, like, what the sim actually does. And instead of taking 5 years, it took 4 days. So, that's how much, like... what I did is I took everything I learned in my PhD thesis, and then over the last year, I've just made the process of making complex environments and training on them. I've done, like, everything's 1000x better. So this is my goal, right? This is my goal, is to fix the field, to make reinforcement learning like a stable, mature area of AI that, like, language modeling didn't used to work. Like LLMs, they didn't used to work. I worked on them in like 2017, 2018, I think 2017, and like you could like see the loss curve go down, but the output was pretty garbage, and you could like barely use them for stuff like sentiment analysis. And then eventually, they kind of just started working with all the new architecture changes, with new data, with more scale. I'm trying to do the same thing for RL. Like, if you think of RL as being where that was back then, I'm trying to do the same thing. Like, get it to this point where it just freaking takes off. That's my goal. All right, back to work on this. So, for some reason, this doesn't look like it is working. Because we have a better policy than this, right? Yeah, this is not the policy, or the quality of the policy. I wonder if linear LSTM... Have a nice day. See ya. See you around. Would you want me to replace all CPR mentions? Can you find like a simpler... Find like a 1 or max 2 word name. Tragedy would work, because it's a tragedy of the commons problem. Pool would work if you just want pool research. Like, pick something simpler, It's not Coop, because there are a lot of cooperative problems that don't have that you're specifically studying like a tragedy of the commons problem, or a pool like our shared resource pool problem. Like, pick something like that. Shared pool's fine. You don't have to necessarily change the stuff in the C. Like, just make sure you just have to change the file names, I think, so that like that it gets picked up in the config, right? Like, the thing I care about is that the config is, you run it with like common pool or shared pool or whatever. People need to know what the thing is based on the env name. File name, folder name should be it. There might be a couple like the includes or whatever, but that should be it. Yeah, this is what Snake is supposed to look like, yeah? Ah. Policy gradient should get diminishing returns. More correlated. It's dependent on the environment complexity. Simple environments get less out of larger batch sizes because essentially you can think of it as like information gain or whatever. Like the amount of additional information you get uh, just goes to zero eventually. You get diminishing returns because like you already know everything from a certain batch about how to update the policy locally. But the thing is, in a more complex environment, there's a lot more noise. So you need a lot larger batches. And Neural MMO, for instance, right now, Neural MMO is training with batch size 3 million, and it's very effective. The Neural MMO is just that hard. Batch size 3 million, and mini batch size 180,000. Pretty good. I really wish the stupid power would not take out my experiments. Because I keep getting like 80 billion steps in, and it's almost soda, and then it crashes. So I fixed all the memory leaks and things. It's literally now just like power outages screwing with me, and we'll have soda on Neural MMO. Prioritize replay. How much did it help? Depends on the environment. Can be substantial. Sometimes is, sometimes isn't. Advantage filtering overall is quite substantial. Storm issues where you live? Yeah, all sorts of lightning. For some reason, it never rains on the day I actually go to run, which annoys me because I pretty much want it to only rain when I go run. Built-in cooling. What the hell's wrong with this thing? Come on. I gotta go for breakfast in a minute, but I will be back for the whole day afterwards working on this stuff. We're gonna get this whole thing solved today. PR in 3? Cool. Thank you. Do you have anything that trains on this thing yet? Like, I said, like, you could try, like, smaller instances, all sorts of things. Do you have anything that you're happy with the training of? So I will include the environment in 3.0 regardless, but it would be cool to have, like, something that actually does, training. And if you're interested in this type of work in general, like, there's so much we can do on multi-agent in general now with the way it is that we build new M's. Okay, understood. I mean, honestly, the bottleneck is not even, it's going to be like, it's just going to be environment dev competence. Like, however many people we have that are competent at very quickly building small C environments without screwing anything major up, that's going to be like the main thing. Because like, I think that any individual problem I want to study, I can probably have something done in 3 to 4 hours now tops. But there are like quite a few of these problems. And then there's, follow-up research on them and lots of stuff. All right, I think I'm gonna break for breakfast, and we'll figure this specific bug out when I'm back. Thanks, folks. If you want to get involved, Puffer.ai, join the Discord, start the repo, help me out, all that. Thank you, Box, and I'll merge that after breakfast. And